Buffalo isn't just buzzing today, it's shaking. Something massive is unfolding inside the Bills organization, and it's happening so quietly that even longtime insiders were caught off guard. The franchise has slipped into full stealth mode, and the whispers coming out of one Bills drive point to a move bold enough to reshape everything heading into 2026. Fans are stunned. Analysts are scrambling. And the truth behind the scenes is far more dramatic than anyone expected. And that's only the beginning. Because while this potential defensive shakeup steals the headlines, the offense is juggling three under-the-radar variables that could swing the next matchup, all while a wave of injuries hits at the worst possible moment. The timing couldn't be worse, and yet the opportunity couldn't be bigger. Before we break down the latest developments, make sure you're subscribed, drop a like, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss a single update. Now let's dive into the newest story surrounding the Buffalo Bills. What once felt impossible has suddenly become the hottest conversation of the Bills' preseason. Buffalo has been linked to a seismic move involving Baltimore star linebacker Roquan Smith, a cornerstone defender with a massive long-term deal, and unexpectedly, a name now floating in trade discussions for 2026. With veteran Matt Milano battling through another season defined by injuries, the Bills have started examining every possible path to rebuild their linebacker unit for the future. Smith, one of the most dominant forces at his position over the past half-decade, has rapidly shifted from a wild fantasy to a legitimate option. The spark came from analyst Brad Gagnon, who noted Baltimore's young linebackers, Teddy Buchanan and Trenton Simpson, are progressing faster than expected. Their rise may give the Ravens confidence to reconsider Smith's expensive contract and entertain a blockbuster trade if the youngsters prove they can anchor the defense. For Baltimore, it would be a painful move. For Buffalo, it could be transformational. If the Ravens decide freeing salary space is worth the sacrifice, the Bills could be staring at a rare opportunity to reshape the heart of their defense heading into 2026, one that nobody saw coming. Roquan Smith's name carries weight for a reason. Few linebackers in the league can match his balance of physical dominance and disciplined coverage. When you see grades that reflect his consistency against the run and his sharp instincts in space, you understand why teams build entire defensive identities around players like him. For Buffalo, a presence like that would immediately stabilize the middle of the field, the exact area that has felt shaky since Matt Milano's injuries disrupted the unit's rhythm. The Bills have battled depth issues for 2 years straight, especially in the second level of the defense. Adding someone with Smith's range and command would reshape the core of the unit the moment he steps onto the field. But the size of his contract hangs over everything like a storm cloud. With projections showing Buffalo heading into 2026 roughly $4 million over the cap, any attempt to bring in a high-priced star would require serious maneuvering from Brandon Beane. Fortunately, if there's one constant in Buffalo's front office, it's creativity. Beane has a long history of bending the financial puzzle in unexpected ways, restructuring deals, shifting guarantees, front-loading or back-loading bonuses, whatever it takes to land a player the team believes can swing their future. That pattern is exactly why this rumor refuses to die. Smith may not be officially on the trade block, but league voices continue to signal that Baltimore could reconsider if their young linebackers lock down larger roles. But while the long-term picture steals the headlines, the Bills' immediate challenge is unfolding on the field this week. Ahead lies a critical showdown with Tampa Bay, a Week 11 battle that carries playoff urgency, roster frustration, and the weight of a 6-3 record that doesn't reflect the injuries piling up across the roster. The defense is stretched thin. Rotations are shifting. And because of all that, the offense must carry the moment. The turning point begins with Josh Allen. Allen remains one of the league's most dangerous forces, a quarterback who can redefine a game with a single throw or turn chaos into momentum with a broken play scramble. In a matchup where margins will be razor-thin, his ability to flip field position, extend drives, and punish defensive hesitation will be the centerpiece of Buffalo's path to victory. The matchup with Tampa Bay becomes a different kind of battle when Baker Mayfield starts heating up. His rhythm-based style has been clicking lately, which means Josh Allen's role takes on even greater weight. This isn't just about executing the offense, it's about controlling the entire flow of the afternoon. Buffalo needs Allen to command the tempo, keep the Buccaneers guessing, and, most importantly, keep Mayfield standing on the sideline rather than orchestrating long drives. With injuries continuing to chip away at the defensive lineup, the best way to slow Tampa Bay's offense is to control the ball. That mission lands squarely on Allen's shoulders. But the quarterback won't be operating alone. With Dalton Kincaid still sidelined by a lingering hamstring issue, the Bills are turning back to wide receiver Josh Palmer, who returns at a moment when the offense desperately needs stability. It's no secret that Buffalo's passing attack has been streaky this season: too many stalled drives, too few explosive plays, and repeated struggles against man coverage. Palmer's return changes the equation. His ability to separate late in his routes, push defenses vertically, and settle into open spaces gives Allen the dependable option he's been missing. To put pressure on Tampa Bay, Palmer must become a steady, early-game target who forces the Buccaneers out of their preferred defensive looks. Then comes the X-factor who may quietly hold the fate of this game in his hands: James Cook. The numbers don't lie. When Cook fails to reach 100 yards on the ground, the Bills lose. When he's rolling, the entire offense transforms. The playbook expands. Play action becomes deadly. Defenses stop attacking downhill. And Allen no longer has to play superhero on every snap. Against a Tampa Bay front known for its brute strength, Cook's ability to churn out yards will determine whether the Bills can dictate the pace or fall back into another late-game thriller. And all of this becomes even more urgent because of the timing. The AFC playoff picture is tightening by the week, and Buffalo can't afford another sloppy offensive performance. Every route, every carry, every decision carries weight in a game where the margin for error is rapidly shrinking. But while the offense prepares to carry the load, Buffalo faces a growing problem that threatens the entire structure of the roster. Instead of getting healthier, the team opens Week 11 looking at a swelling injury list: 6 players, multiple starters, and key pieces scattered across the depth chart. It's one of the most unstable weeks the Bills have faced all year, and it arrives at the worst possible moment. The injury wave that has been stalking Buffalo all season has now turned into a full-blown storm. Tight end Dalton Kincaid and defensive tackle Fredarian Mattis have already been ruled out after missing the entire week of practice, stripping the Bills of 2 valuable contributors before the weekend even arrives. But the real alarm started ringing when Taron Johnson, who had finally begun turning the corner after a groin issue, suffered a setback late in the week. What looked like steady progress instantly turned into uncertainty. Sean McDermott didn't hide his concern, calling the situation a yellow flag, a rare moment where even the head coach's tone hinted at how unsettling the development truly is. And the complications don't stop there. Johnson's backup, Cam Lewis, is also battling a calf injury, leaving his status in doubt. Suddenly, the Bills find themselves staring at a secondary stretch to its limits. If both players are unavailable, Buffalo may be forced to lean on rookie Jordan Hancock, a talented but untested nickel safety hybrid who has yet to shoulder a full defensive workload. More snaps will almost certainly fall on Jamaica Ingram as well, especially with Christian Benford finally working his way back into the lineup. The uncertainty continues at linebacker, where Shaq Thompson carries a questionable tag despite practicing fully in recent days. And newly acquired defensive tackle T.J. Sanders, fresh off an injured list return, also finds himself under evaluation as the team gauges not just his conditioning but his readiness for real action. All of this means one thing: the defensive lineup could look drastically different once Sunday arrives. The final call will come just 90 minutes before kickoff, but the internal discussions have already begun. If Dane Jackson is elevated, it likely signals that either Johnson or Lewis can't go. If Balen Spector is activated, Thompson's availability comes into question. Every move has a ripple effect, and every decision reshapes the defensive picture. This week isn't just another matchup, it's a stress test for Buffalo's depth, toughness, and ability to adapt under pressure. With the possibility of a blockbuster move for Roquan Smith hovering in the background, the offense carrying the weight of must-win urgency, and the defense bracing for sudden changes, the Bills find themselves at a defining crossroads. Are they finally piecing together the kind of roster that can push them back into true contender territory? Or does this growing list of challenges still leave them one step behind where they need to be? Your voice matters. What do you think about Buffalo's direction as all these developments unfold?